BassResinator here.
My brother is an amazing wood craftsman, but he doesn't do resin. And he brought me this really about 2.5 inch, 3 inch thick 2 cookies of ebony. This is beautiful wood, but he wants me to fill this middle section with resin for him. So I'm going to use a deep pour. He chose this color coffee. He wants it to match pretty close, so he chose that one. He says when he does, he's going to put tung oil on this to finish, not resin on the top. He's strictly wood and likes the beauty of the wood, which I appreciate. But he taped a bunch up. He says, "What? Do you have anything to go in there?" So we used some of my Let's Resin wood putty. Listen to me, silicone putty to fill that gap. And then I'll be able to pour that in there, and then fill in these areas. And then what he did to smooth this off is, and this is exceedingly hard wood. He's going to make tables out of these little end tables, but in order to smooth this out, he didn't want to use a planer because a planer would have chewed it up. So he went over it, just made pass after pass after pass with a router on a router sled, which of course he made his own router sled. Like I said, he's a woodworker extraordinaire. He's got his own, makes tools if he doesn't have them, but this is just an amazing piece of wood, and so is the one underneath it. I mean, it's just beautiful. And he's got it all taped up underneath. I said, we need to tape it so that it doesn't soak through. And he goes, okay, I'll take that. But he didn't have anything that would fit there. So he said, if I had some putty, and I said, I could do that. I got you covered. So yeah, the project of the brothers. So he's going to use what I do, and he's going to do what he does. And I'll use deep pour resin because I have no idea. He said he blew all that out with an air compressor, so I have no idea. Those cracks, I think, go all the way through, so he wants it to be solidified a little bit more. I mean, this isn't going anywhere. This is hard, but with resin in there, that epoxy will just really grab it together and hold it. So yeah, this is going to be fun. Okay, I've got these set up out in the garage. This one, he worked on this a long time, and when I felt it with my bare hand, it was just smooth as can be. This one still has some lines on it you can see from the router going back and forth. But this one, man. Anyway, I mixed up. I didn't know how much resin this is going to hold because these are deep, and I don't know how far those cracks go back in. So I mixed up 10 ounces, and it looks really dark, but it's that coffee brown, and I mixed in a little bit of eye candy Koyuko black paste because it was too light. It was almost the color of this lighter pattern right here, and he was wanting more of this darker, and I think I've achieved that here. So I'm gonna try and get some of this to go in there. I have no idea, like I said, how much this is gonna use. Now if I miss a little bit like I am right here, he can go back over that with the router or with sander and get that to go down in. Now this table that I've got it sitting on is level, and I even set it on top of this wood, my level, to see how level it was. I'll show you what I did. See, now this is starting to fill up here. Philip, that's pretty funny because that's my brother's name. Ooh. See, I fill it in there, and then all of a sudden it just sort of sinks away. Let that sit a bit, and I'll show you what I did. If my head's in the way, sorry. You can see, well, I can see dead level that way. And not this way. What is going on here? It was. Oh, this high side right here is high. So when I go out there, and then it's level. 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 So, okay, so this stayed filled in. These little cracks right here need some more. And I covered the top of the table with some butcher paper. I'm waiting for bubbles. There's bubbles every once in a while, and if those bubbles seep out, then maybe there'll be more room for more resin. Sort of like if you're kind of gross, you eat too much and then you burp, and then all of a sudden you got room for more. Yeah, now this all of a sudden started going down, and I'm looking, oh, it's coming out the bottom, that's why. Okay, well, let me go over here. That one's easy to see because I can see the bottom of it. But these here, that's a big crack. I could see all the way down on that one. I may just let that cure as it is, and then come back in a little bit later and put some more in, so that that will have already cured down underneath. If my head gets in the way, so sorry. And this is a deep pour resin. It's see it right in my head. Unicorn Art Deep Pour. It's a really nice resin. And it cures, this should be done curing in about 36 hours. It doesn't take as long as other deep pours. But it releases air bubbles really nicely. I'm tempted to try and fill more in there, but I know it's going to go right out the bottom. There's a little crack over here. I'm going to fill that with a little bit of this resin. And there's a little bit of a crack over here. And I have way more than enough resin. I used about half of that, 10 ounces, so I've used 5 ounces in that. But like I said, I had no clue how much was going to go in there. So I guess I'll go find something else that needs to be dark brown. Actually, I'll come back out here in a half hour. This won't have set up at all. But I may go get a mold to try something else in. Anyway, this is gonna be the extent of my work is getting this resin to stay, not like it's spilling out over here on the edge. And then my brother's gonna take it back and refinish these down, and it'll take him a little while, but he's gonna do it, and it'll be perfect. I'll tell you, as smooth as this one is, it's gonna be that way even with this little bit of resin that's over the top. He'll grind that down with a router on his router sled and then sand it all nice and smooth. And then he's going to put tung oil or some type of oil on there that's going to really sink in and really preserve the wood and keep it from water damage. But yeah, he'll take really good care of it. These are going to be amazing tables, end tables. I am assuming he's going to be filming the rest of the process after this is done, and I'll put a link down in the description of this video to his YouTube page if you're interested in seeing some of the stuff he does. He does one of a kind. He did a special scooter for one of his grandkids. No, he did it for one of his kids. And then he did a rocking horse for one of his grandkids. He did something else for a different grandkid. A big old chess set that you need to watch that video. Anyway, really interesting videos that he's put together. Okay, so I'm seeing a little bit of sinking there, but yeah, I'll put that link to his channel, and if you're interested, he doesn't talk in his. He just puts, he writes the message on there. He talks with action. He doesn't have to use words. So anyway, give it a look-see, and you can see, you can start imagining what these are going to look like when he's done. So, okay, I'm done now. See ya when it comes back to cure time. It's been a couple days since I poured this. wood got revenge on me. You can see it got me when I was trying. What it had done, I put some paper down underneath this just in case there was a little bit of spillage. What I did not know was there was going to be a lot of spillage. That tape did not hold. So it came through. Well, then this stuck really hard on that plastic, and me just pulling and pulling and pulling. I was finally able to get it up, but that's where the wood got revenge. So my brother, he's going to have his hands cut out for him now. I mean, he knew there would be a little bit on this side because I filled in all of those cracks. I haven't taken that putty off. Let's see what happens there. Huh? I'll get it around to this side so we can see a little bit better maybe. Both of them, it leaked out of both sides. Here, let me zoom in on that. Wow. Okay, let's see if I can get this putty off. Well, that putty came off just perfect. Look at that. And that's what he was wanting. He wanted that little gap there to add it. He wanted it to look really kind of cool in here, to have a little bit of a gap. So that's why we put that putty there. Yeah, that just popped right off of there like as if it were supposed to. Okay, so I'll call my brother, and then hopefully he'll be filming the rest of the production of his little end tables. But yeah, both of them just leaked like a sieve. That tape held over here on the sides, but not underneath. I don't know what the deal was, but all of these cracks, and I even went a little bit above, so that he could go over the top, but he's gonna have to sand on both sides, or use his router and go back and forth on this and sand that down then, and then he'll be able to finish it with his oils. Yeah, knock on wood. Okay, my part is done. Back over to Philip for the rest of it. If for some reason he does not film it, I will try and get a picture of his finished products. Okay, like I told you, he was a master woodworker, right? He also does some stuff in metal. He hasn't decided whether he wants to do wooden legs and craft them himself, or do some type of metal and craft them himself. He doesn't like a lot of the things that are out there that he sees that are prefab. He wants his to be, well, you got to know my brother. He wants them to be good, and he wants it to be his style. So whatever he ends up doing is going to be just amazing. So this piece of wood, about 1.5 feet, 2 feet, probably weighs about 35 pounds maybe. Yeah, these are going to be some definitely solid heavy duty end tables. Yep, but knowing my brother, he's never going to do anything just cheapo wise. He wants it to be original, and he wants it to be good. So okay, I am done. I will put my part of the video together, and so I'll see you next time.